Today we're with Tyrone Garwood at Total Boxer Gym in Hornsey. How you doing? Thank you for access to your gym and your training.
It's alright, always welcome. I've been good. It's been good, early starts.
So how did you first get into boxing? How did you get introduced into boxing?
At first it was to do with my brother when I was younger. Self-defense, but then I started taking an actual interest in it, so I just started to follow through.
When you mean self-defense, what was you always having to protect yourself? Were you always in dangerous situations, or was it just something that you just felt like you had to do?
I won't say dangerous situations, but I would say I did grow up in kind of an area that can be sometimes intense. So my brother and my family did think that self-defense was essential.
Definitely. So how did you actually, was there any first-hand conflict, or was it just
Not trying to portray myself as the wrong being, as I'm not. I have been in an encounter, I was the victim. I think that's what shook my family, it shook myself at the time, and that's why I think that we all focusing on self-defense should be the key.
So what was your initial introduction? How did you first get into it? Did you just join a club, or was it just at home?
There was actually a local club that helped people avoid these kind of situations, and I did feel welcome because my needs was their aim, so I just joined the club, yeah.
So from there, how did it go from just being something for self-defense and a hobby to something you actually wanted to pursue and go further with?
Because at first, saying that it's self-defense, I realized that as I grew, I changed as a character. I was able to differentiate myself from others. So what happens is it no longer became a thing of self-defense, it became a thing of more of interest and passion. So I thought, you know what, before I wouldn't try to be in any tournaments or anything, but now I actually try to be in it.
So when you first got introduced to it, was there any fears, or was it just you knew you were better than the rest, so you just wanted to do it?
I never really tried to look at it as I'm better than anyone. I see it as mental play. The person who's mentally the fittest and strongest will always win. The fear I did have at the beginning, like anyone else would have, is stepping in the ring with someone who looks more muscular than you or more intimidating, but that can be overridden.
Okay, so obviously you're a middleweight and you're a weight where you're pretty tall for your size but pretty slender. So being in the ring with pretty shorter people, how did you use that to your advantage?
There was many ways my coach trained me to start keeping them on the outside, make sure they don't come in, using my reach, what they don't have. Also, most of the time when I first shoot and stockier people, I'm always the quickest, so using my speed to advantage.
Definitely. So from there, how obviously you started, how old was you when you first started?
How
long ago was this, sorry?
In a boxing club, I'm 23 now, is when I was 14.
So you first started when you were 14, yeah. And only now you're getting to actually fight competitively. Yeah. How come it took so long?
Because at the beginning actually was I was on and off. Because I just felt it was self-defense, I didn't feel like it was essential. But as the passion grew, I thought I needed to be here, like this is where I'm meant to be, so I started to come more regularly.
When did that change? How old was you when that changed?
I would say it changed when I was around 18, 19.
So then from 18, 19, when did you actually decide, this is the time I want to actually fight at amateur level?
I had opportunities to fight before, I've been asked. The only difference is that I always wanted to be ready. I've always seen boxers make a mistake of jumping into opportunities when they were too eager and they wasn't ready. I wanted to be ready.
Okay, so obviously now we're moving on to stepping into the ring for the first time. How are you prepared for this fight?
I've been early morning and late nights. It's always about hard work, always about outworking them. It's not even outworking your opponent, it's outworking yourself.
So obviously amateurs is way different to professionals. You know, professionals you actually get to see your opponent, you know, but for this is your first fight and their first fight, so you don't really get to see much of them. So how do you prepare for that then?
Like I said, it's not about preparing for your opponent. It's all a mental fight, it's always you against yourself. Once you beat yourself, you can beat anyone basically.
So you don't feel like there's any need to focus on your opponent at all?
To say there is certain stuff I do look at. I do try and investigate his fighting style. Maybe what's his speciality. You know, some people are strong arms, strong hooks, whatever. But other than that, there's nothing else.
So how do you get to know whether they have strong hooks, strong uppercuts, strong jabs if you've never seen them properly fight?
Sometimes I don't know how, but sometimes the coaches do have, because sometimes our coaches do go and see fights, so they might say, you know what, watch out for John, for example. He's got a furious left hook.
Definitely.
So now when I'm in the ring and I'm face to face with John, when I see him setting a certain stance, like he's gonna throw that hook, I'm gonna avoid it by any means necessary.
So where do you feel like sparring is different to the actual fight? Because obviously you haven't been in an actual fight, so how do you prepare for an actual fight instead of sparring?
Sparring is only, in amateur boxing, sparring is only different because most of the time people spar with the people they know. People try their best not to get it out like we're strangers. What I do, I normally go to different clubs just to spar with people I don't know. It's the same thing.
Definitely, that's a good strategy. So from after this fight, what are you looking to do? Where are you looking to progress?
Well, my aim is professional.
You definitely want to get professional.
Yeah, that's my aim.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you very much. It was very...
Always welcome. Total Gym, Hornsey. It's a good gym.
Thank you very much.